Hello, hello. Welcome to my life. Here, let me see. Got it. Okay, I'm live now. And if you're joining me or you come across this after this live is a replay, please do leave your comment in the comment box and like this video so people who are interested in this topic here get to see, and the algorithm will obviously bring it up. And please share this video with your friends and family so they get to know about my channel. My name is Sanjay, by the way, and thank you if you just stumbled across my short live. This is an impromptu live, and I've come here today because it's impromptu, like I said, and I'm talking to someone, if you're watching this, who might be going through depression or loneliness, or you're feeling like a cloud over you. I want you to understand this. Even the greatest of men and women have and always will be through ups and downs of life. So you're not alone. Don't feel alone. And I want you to understand that even the greatest leaders of our history, wherever you are in the world, and greatest leaders of today do go through ups and downs. So you are not alone. But what I want to do is to encourage you and give you a few tips to help you fight against that depression and guide your mental health. Guide it with all your might. And just to know that there is nothing and no situation that you find yourself that is permanent. So I want to encourage you, first of all, if you're woken up or you're going through this patch, the world right now feels so unsafe. And indeed, inflation is causing havoc through people's pockets, whether you're in Europe, North America, Africa, Asia. Inflation is affecting anyone. Therefore, indirectly or directly, a lot of people's mental state are being tested. Now, I need you to focus on this. Today, I want you to get up from wherever you are, put on your shoes if you need to, or if you don't want to go out, stay in your home, in your room. Put on some music and dance to it. If you prefer to run, get out and make that effort just for 10 minutes and go for a 10-minute run. Move your body around is what I'm trying to say, whatever suits you, whether it's walking, dancing. And I don't mean going to the shops and spending because you're depressed. No, that's not because you see, one of the greatest joys you're going to learn in life, if you haven't learned it now, is that some of the best things are not necessarily what you spend a fortune on. It's about being resourceful. And when I hear some people talk about retail therapy, whilst they may think in the short run it makes them feel great, that is not what I'm talking about. And I don't think that's helpful, not for you, not for your pocket. And often when we hear people talk about retail therapy, that retail therapy has put a lot of women and men in financial problems. So what I'm saying is just get up, move your body around, because for every movement, whether you're dancing, jumping, running, walking, your body is telling your mind and soul that you are taking charge of your body, whether you realize it or not. Because you see, often when people are depressed or feeling down, you're more inclined to recluse and try to keep to yourself or allow that emotion, that dark negative emotion, to take over you. But instead, by moving around, you are saying to yourself, I am in charge, I am in control. So get up now and move around, dance, sing, do what you may. And the other one I want you to try and practice is, yes, you might be feeling lonely. Yes, you might be feeling depressed. Find a moment away from the noise around you. Anywhere in your house, in your office, you can just quieten down for a few minutes, at least half an hour, ideally an hour, and just relax. Relax. If you're a Christian or whatever your religion, pray. Use that moment to connect to God. Okay? And if you are still not used to praying, just sit down and look out the window or pick up a book or shut your eyes and try to flip your mind into thinking of positive things. Number 3, learn. Like anybody else, many of us, we are living life and we all have goals. And there's nothing wrong with having goals. But where it becomes a problem for some people or most people is when we begin to have goals or dreams and allow those dreams to almost a point of obsession, whereas in some certain scenarios, people might be controlled by material things and money, or how much I'm going to make, or how I want to reach this goal, or maybe you've been dreaming of this. It becomes seeps into you like an obsession, and before you know it, you're feeling down without understanding or knowing, why am I feeling down? Now I need you to do this, please. Flip your mind, condition your mind to, I'm not saying you should not dream, but to limit the extent to which you allow your imagination roam away from you. In other words, to control the extent to which you dream and make sure that your dreams and goals are set within a realistic scope for yourself. You understand? Because you see, the problem comes when some of us, I say us, we're all human, and as human beings, you have to be consciously and intentionally aware of your emotions and know when to rein it in. And some of you out there may have allowed your dreams, your imaginations run so wild that rather than you savoring the now, the moment, or taking a step back to reflect and appreciate what you have achieved in your life so far, which I'm very sure is a lot. But because you're setting some unrealistic goals, it overshadows the positive things that you have achieved, the wonderful things that you, or the wonderful tribulations you have overcome. And when I'm talking about all this, is I don't just mean material or things or money. It could very well include that. After all, we all need money to survive. But it is to the extent that you are so obsessed or obsessed with goals that may not even be possible. And I want you to stop. Learn to limit your dreams and goals. And when I say limit, I don't mean when you know what you can do, you don't chase after those dreams. I mean, sometimes, I used to be a bit like that with my work, and my husband would say to me, darling, don't be too hard on yourself, because I will wake up, I probably write about 5 main points that I want to achieve to do with my work. But you and I know in the world of today, there are so many things from, it could be your website problem, it could be an IT problem, it could be so many things that could go wrong, which means that day you're not able to actually reach those goals because you spent a lot of time, more than you anticipated, attending to things that you need to fix in order to allow the process of whatever you're trying to do for your business or your work. Maybe you're a manager, maybe you're a student, and it draws you back. And then I often will beat myself up, literally feeling like, oh, I should have finished these 5 things. But instead of being kind to myself, I'll come to that and realizing that these goals are set for myself for that day are unrealistic. They're unrealistic because there were unforeseen circumstances I had to deal with in order to get to the next level. And they're also unrealistic instead of appreciating what I have managed to fix and moving forward. I am so fall down on where I feel I should have been. So these unrealistic goals could be to do with your work, it could be to do with your relationship, it could be to do with your children, it could be to do with your business, whatever the case may be. It's okay. sometimes to allow yourself to be human. That's what I'm saying. So please stop setting unrealistic goals, because unrealistic goals denies you of the enjoyment of enjoying the now, the journey of life, the journey of that thing you're trying to achieve, the journey of that project. And instead of focusing on the positive, you have set unrealistic goals that you are now too much focusing on the negative, where you feel you haven't been, even though you, if you take a step back, you know, sit down, reflect, be honest to yourself, you have come a long way. You are successful even as you are today. You are doing well. The fact that you're not starving, the fact that you still have generally all your limbs and your health physically, I'm talking about now, in shape. Even if you don't, the truth of the matter is there are things you can, if you sat down, bring out your fingers, if you can count up to 5 blessings each day or each week, be grateful. So please don't set unrealistic goals. They deny you the pleasures of enjoying how far you've come and the current stage where you may find yourself now. And the next one, number 4, please avoid, even if you're doing it subconsciously or unconsciously, is a little bit akin to my number 3. Never you compare yourself with anyone. This life is one life for each person. You are living your life, another person is living their life. The truth of the matter is that we are all different and we are all blessed in different ways. And one of the biggest mistakes, if you're one of those people who find it, easy to be envious or comparing yourself with someone, I urge you now to take a step back and don't do that. Don't ever compare yourself with anyone, because you are unique in your own way. What may be okay for that person may not be okay for you. And at the end of the day, it is not necessarily what you see someone else doing. You don't even know the ins and outs. It could be good, it could be bad, but ultimately, if good or bad, it may not even be the kind of lifestyle you may want to live yourself. And even if someone seems like they're doing so well or whatever, be happy. Teach yourself to be happy for others, because there is some mental satisfaction, a kind of warm, fuzzy feeling when you see someone else doing well and you yourself are happy for the person. Do you understand? So it is absolutely necessary never to judge your progress in life, whether it's your work or relationship, with another person. Don't compare, because comparison robs you again, just like my third point, of appreciating who you are and the you. Number 5, however down you're feeling, I want you to practice this. Learn to go with the flow of life. Life is like a river that is flowing. Imagine you find yourself inside this turbulent river. Now, there are 2 things you can do. You can either try to swim against the river, the currents, or you can allow the river carry you and trust in God that is carrying you, and ultimately when it leaves you, you will find your place on a stable ground or stable position where something good, at least you're not going to drown, is going to come out of it. That is what you need to start practicing. Start seeing life, because you see, one of the reasons a lot of people, or some people, get down or depressed is a number of reasons. It could be because of a relationship with a spouse, with a partner, and with a sibling, with a colleague, your business, your office work. It's a number of reasons. It could even be your children. But what it's important is the integrity of your character in knowing that you have done what you know you should have done in that situation, and look at life without looking at life as to what you expected. Am I making sense? But instead, look at life as a constantly changing process that could carry you anywhere. And the more you learn to let life take you where life is taking you, some people might call it destiny, but those who are Christians know when you hand it over to God and you're relying on God, and I'm a Christian myself, whatever, I'm not here to preach to you, but as a Christian, my faith allows me to lean on God and let the river of life take me. It doesn't mean that I don't wake up with a purpose, but instead of fighting life, I'm finding myself depressed. I'm fighting life. Let me give you an example. It could be a relationship between you and the sibling, for example, and because everybody has their truth, and sometimes some people are blinded by inherent jealousy and bitterness. But yourself, whilst we are not perfect human beings, that you have done everything possible to have a good relationship with this sibling, or it could be a husband, or it could be a wife, but like many people all over the world that have families, everybody almost has a sibling. And you've done everything, and this sibling continues to literally pay you back with foul mouth, with evil actions, backstabbing, and you've done this for a number of years, just trying to be the bigger person, especially when the person in question feels maybe they feel a sense of importance. Why should they say sorry? Why should they even take accountability for what and how badly they treated you? There comes a time you have to take control of your life, because remember, it's one life you have. Otherwise, you're allowing somebody else live their life and try to ruin yours, because that life you have may very well be what they wish they have had. Because at the end of the day, there are certain situations we may find ourselves. I speak from experience where, the anger and reaction of the other person, especially when it's somebody you consider family or friend, becomes so bitter and so wicked towards you that you even begin to ask, even if I have done something wrong, the person may not have even asked you or told you, does it warrant this? And that's when you have to take a step back, knowing that this person probably, all you can do is pray for them, because you cannot allow something you cannot control, a situation, or it may be a spouse. You have a husband who's terrible, who doesn't appreciate you, or a wife who doesn't appreciate the husband. It's the same thing. You have to know when to let life take its course. If it's prayer you believe in, pray for the person, release them, forgive them, because that forgiveness is for you. Because all these are things subconsciously, if you hold them in, you wake up, like I said, I'm not a doctor, but at the end of the day, every one of us, no matter how you pretend to be happy, everybody has ups and downs. And sometimes, until you hear it, you need to take a step back and ask yourself, why am I even feeling this way? And feeling sad or lonely or whatever could come in a number of ways. And so what I'm saying in effect is, let life, it may be your business, it's not going the way you want, learn to accept reality of life, not getting bogged down because this is not what I expected life to give me. Because you see, what life gives you or I are things you are not in control of. The only person in control is God. So the moment you begin to learn to allow the river of life, backed by your faith and asking for the spirit of discernment so that you make the right decisions, the better for you. And finally, I don't want this video to be too long. I just came here to encourage you. If you're feeling lonely, depressed, or a cloud over you, is to learn to be your own best friend. Appreciate you, appreciate who you are, and appreciate that you have come a long way. No matter what the situation is right now, is temporary. But you must take control back. Taking control back is shaking it off. Don't compare yourself with anyone. Don't set goals that are unrealistic. Learn to savor your journey in the moment. Look at your life wherever you may think how little. There are people who didn't achieve anything, and there are people who want to achieve, but they cannot even get up to do it. So thank God for who you are today, what you have achieved today. There's a favorite song of mine, we used to sing when I was in Bondi school back in Nigeria, in my secondary school. I never really thought much of it, but here it goes. We sang it at the dining hall every day. It was much later, many years later, I kind of began to put meaning into it, and I want you to remember and akin what I'm saying to you to come out of that depression. Don't let anxiety rob you of your joy, okay? Don't let anxiety and fear rob you of today. And that song used to go, some have food but cannot eat. Some have food but cannot eat. We have food and we can eat. I can't remember the last. So you see, whatever the situation, the song says, some have food but cannot eat. Some can eat but have no food. But you have food and you can eat. In other words, I'm not just talking in the respect of food alone. Whatever you think about your life, you are certainly better off than someone somewhere. I'm not saying it's a good thing or you're mocking, but just like some people are always too greedy, robbing themselves of their own personal joy, and they're always looking at somebody they feel who has more. That person may have more. There's somebody who has more than that person. Just like you may have more than somebody will have more than you. That is the reality of life. And the sooner you begin to understand and accept life for what life has given you and be grateful. Gratitude, kindness, humility is one of the biggest, simplest things that could make you begin to see life a little simpler and differently, and hopefully enjoy the who you are. On this note, thank you again. Look below this video. I'd like to leave links, useful links for my subscribers. And if you are not a subscriber, please hit the like button, and occasionally I'll be dropping some unexpected gifts in almost all my videos anyway. Please hit the like button so the algorithm gets to pick up my video, and please share this with your friends and family so they get to know about my channel. My name is IJ, and this is IJ, and I thank you again for stopping by. And do cheer up. Do not let depression, anxiety, or fear or loneliness get you down. Become the best friend you can be to yourself. On this note, I want to wish you well wherever in the world you are, and leave me comments in the comment box and tell me what I talked about that has encouraged you, or perhaps you want to share your own experience. I welcome it. And on this note, thank you again, and check back next time for my video. Bye-bye.